Hello viewers, my name is David and today I'll be telling a little story. In this story I'll be telling, it will involve characters that I created myself. I've hand-drawn them on the computer. So, in this story I'll be telling you, it's about a young boy named Freddy Fredo. Now, this story I'll be telling you is called Malcolm's Lost Hoodie. Cue intro, please. Okay, so the story starts off with Freddy in the dining table, and he's eating a plate of pasta. The pasta is Fredo, the Fredo pasta, hence his surname. This is because the Fredo pasta is his favorite food. So, while he eats, his friend Malcolm, who lives with him, goes down the stairs, and he isn't wearing anything on top, implying that his hoodie is gone. So, as he walks over to Freddy, who is sitting while eating his food, Malcolm says to Freddy, "Freddy, have you seen my hoodie? Because this morning when I woke up and looked on the floor for it, it was gone." So then Freddy said, "Your hoodie was gone? I hope nobody stole it again." And do you know why again? Because in a couple of episodes I've done, verbally, without having to video it, I never actually did it in person, just did verbally. So, Malcolm worries about his hoodie being lost. He tells Freddy that it's gone, and when he asks Freddy to help, Freddy agrees. He puts his fork down while his food is unfinished, and he puts his unfinished food into the fridge, and the two of them go looking out for it. So, first of all, they try looking in the park, but the hoodie's nowhere to be found. That's when a park warden tells Malcolm off for not wearing anything on top. He says, "Hey, young man, sir, if you're not wearing anything on top, then you can't enter the playground." But then Malcolm replies back, "But sir, I'm only looking for my..." Before he could finish his sentence, the park warden cuts him off, saying, No shirt, no shoes, no service." Malcolm says, "But I'm wearing shoes." The park warden replies, "No shirt, out." So Malcolm and Freddy leave, even though Freddy is fully clothed, while Malcolm is not. So, as the two of them keep on looking outdoors, Malcolm, worried that people will see him with nothing on top, considering that he and Freddy are outdoors, tells Freddy, "Freddy, well, while my hoodie is gone, in the meantime, could you find something to cover me up with?" And Freddy thinks about it, and he sees his friend Mikey Humphrey, who, as a matter of fact, is his former enemy. So, Freddy goes over to Mikey, and he asks him, "Hey Mikey, if there's something my friend Malcolm can use so that he can cover himself up, because we're looking for his hoodie, and he is not wearing anything on top." Then Mikey thinks about it and says, "Ooh, I know." Then he runs over to his house and grabs a blankie. The blankie is from his room. He gives it over to Malcolm, and when Malcolm wraps it around his body, he is grateful to Mikey. "Oh, thank you, Mikey." And Mikey says, "Oh, you're welcome, it was nothing." And Malcolm says, Mikey, it's gonna take some time to get used to your change of heart, considering that you used to be bad before, or naughty." And Mikey, he chuckles, saying, "Yeah, it might take time for some people to get used to my change of heart, but don't worry, you'll eventually get used to it." So, as Freddy and Malcolm leave Mikey, the two of them continue their search of the latter's missing hoodie. After looking in the park, they look in a small dollar store. The hoodie is nowhere to be found there. However, as Freddy and Malcolm prepare to leave the dollar store, Mikey's blankie that Malcolm is wearing around his body gets snagged on the sliding doors of the dollar store, because the dollar store has sliding doors. Of course, it's just an accident, but still, it kind of triggers Malcolm. Malcolm, horrified at this, tries to take the blankie off of the sliding doors, but it doesn't work, even though Freddy tries to get it to open. Eventually, Malcolm just rips the blankie out of the dollar store, tearing it in the process, tearing the blankie in the process. Both teenage boys get horrified at this. Mikey even manages to hear it from afar. When Mikey sees his blankie torn, he gets extremely devastated. However, he does not attack Malcolm, as Mikey understands that it was only an accident, and he can even have his mother sew it. So, Malcolm gives the blankie back to Mikey and says, "Oh, I'm very sorry about your blankie being torn." And Mikey says, "Oh, it's okay. My mother can sew it for you if you like." So, The two boys keep on looking for the hoodie. This makes Malcolm realize that the next time his hoodie gets lost, he needs to wear something under his hoodie, like a t-shirt. Freddy manages to read Malcolm's thoughts, and then gets an idea. He goes over to a thrift store, and he goes to the clothing section, and sees a lot of old shirts. He then spots a plain white t-shirt. He grabs it, pays for it, and rushes out. He then gives the shirt to Malcolm. Malcolm puts it on and says, "Oh my goodness, thank you, Freddy. You're the best friend ever." Freddy says, "You're welcome," and the two keep looking for the hoodie. Just then, Freddy and Malcolm's known rival, Trina Kale, is shown walking with their other known rival, Garth Orphils, who is wearing Malcolm's hoodie. In that instant, Freddy and Malcolm discover this, and Malcolm gets a little angry because Garth is a bad boy, and it seems that Garth had stolen the hoodie. When Freddy questions Garth, Garth says, "Yep, indeed, I stole the hoodie for myself, but don't worry, I'll give it back." But Malcolm does not buy this and angrily demands his hoodie be given back. But Garth says, "I'll give it back to you when I say so." But Malcolm replies with, "No, I want my hoodie back now, as in right now." The two boys, Malcolm and Garth, begin a tug of war with the hoodie. Trina glares at Freddy, and she says to him in a snarky voice, "Freddy, why did you make Malcolm do this? The hoodie is being worn by Garth, and Garth is still using it." But Freddy says, "No, Trina, the hoodie does not belong to Garth, it belongs to Malcolm." Malcolm somehow manages to yank the hoodie off of Garth without tearing it. Gratefully, Malcolm puts his hoodie back on, and he gives Freddy a hug. "Thanks, Freddy," he says. "If it weren't for you, I'd never find my hoodie." And Freddy says, "Next time, Malcolm, don't always sleep without your hoodie on. Or maybe if you do, put your hoodie in your closet and not always on the floor." Malcolm, realizing that Freddy is right, accepts his advice happily. From that day on, Malcolm never leaves his hoodie lying on the floor again when he sleeps. The end. So that's my story. Hope you liked it. Bye.